Hey, 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 guys. It's Kennedy. It's Kennedy, a whole single. Just dropping in this morning with another video, another episode of Love for You All today. And I just want to thank all of my subscribers. I see we are continuously growing by the day. And some would look at my numbers and say, well, she only has 800 and something subscribers. But for me, because of the reasoning of the journey and because of the heart of the journey, I am ecstatic about it because they look and I see other pages with thousands and thousands of subscribers, and I'm like, oh, they're probably getting a check. But my check is when I see a message or get an email or it's something that says, "Hey, I'm listening. I'm watching you and this is really helping me in my journey." That's my payment. My payment comes from God who told me to do this thing. So I love you all by the gallons and thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that button and subscribe and hit that bell as well so that you can be notified when I post another video. I try to do one at least every week. I don't want to be overwhelming and like every other minute they're putting in a video, and I guess that's to drive up their minutes or their hours or watch time and all this. But I want mine to be truly organic so that this really a conversation among friends, among sisters and brothers, and where we can just really dig deep into these things that's going on with us as singles. But anyway, we're going to get into this one today. I want to talk a minute about, are you healing or are you holding on? So I had a conversation with a customer yesterday. I am an insurance agent, among other things, educational consultant, author, minister, and lover of love, of God. And so I don't know how he heard this in my voice, and a lot of my customers do. And they'll start telling me their whole life stories. They'll start telling me, I've had church. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to go now before we have a hallelujah praise break, and but I try to make it, you know, the cause and my customers feel, that I really do care, and I really do. So I had a conversation with a customer yesterday. We were on the phone quite some time. I finally got finished with his business of insurance, but I don't know what it was in my voice. I had to heard his whole life story. And it was pulling in my soul that there was some things I wanted to say to him, but I couldn't say because I was on my work phone and you have to keep it professional. But he kept pouring and pouring and pouring out to me. And I kept listening, and I'm refraining from certain things and I'm saying things as tactful as I can because my calls are recorded for quality and training. So anyway, this gentleman was telling me about, the reason his insurance was high because his wife, she had an accident or a ticket and some other things, and so that just spawned into him telling me about their whole relationship. That he met this woman a couple of years or so ago. He fell madly in love with her, and but she's mistreated this man ever since. I just, some of the things this man told me, I just like, if he was in front of me and we were in my office, I could have told him something different. I would have said, man, let's pray because we're going to get this bound off of you. So he talks about how she got in with this. Now, I'm licensed in all 50 states. So I may talk to somebody from Alaska, Hawaii, Colorado, Maine. I mean, I may talk to someone from all over. And I want to say this man was in Washington State. So I try to put my mind, I look at where they're from, and I try to put my mind in a place of what is their community like? What are the things around him? And so, he when he said she's in a biker gang, I watch movies, where they got these different things in certain areas of the country, and they're different things. Like in Birmingham, we have biker clubs, but they're not biker gangs. These are like social saving club. They all get together. They love their bikes. They do things together. They ride. I know a lot of groups that they actually, part of their mission is to give back during their rides and things. So I'm not saying there's anything negative about biker groups or things like that, but he specifically said a biking gang that is notorious in the town for doing bad deeds. So that clarified that even more to give me a good perspective of how to look at the people that she's socializing with. He goes on to say that she cheats on him several times. He goes on to say about how he just loves her so much that he's just hoping that his love will cause her to change. That if he loves her enough, that she'll change. He went on to say how when they're together in the mall, you know, how he holds her purse and he may hold if she's dropped shopping for underwear, he holds it and women are looking at him like, oh, and I would too. Like, look at him, he holding up her. Some of us would say, oh, you know what, he would, but some of us say, isn't that I look at it and I say, he's certain in his man. He can carry her purse because he knows he's the man. So I think it's a little, a whole different look for me to see a man holding his wife's purse or his woman's purse. It means he know he a man, but he gonna do this for her right now because this is what he wants to do. So he went on to telling me all of the good things. He's 6'6", 210. I'm like, oh my God, this got to be a tall, nice, healthy drink of water. He's talking about how friends of his have told him, man, you need to really get away from that woman. You really deserve something better. So sometimes it's those friends that see and they know who you are. And they know who he is, the loving, giving person that he is, and they see him being used. He said that he's spent money to get her out of drug offenses, different things. I mean, and when he was telling me this story, I asked him, have you ever watched the Tyler Perry movie? I was like, it's a Tyler Perry movie. I'm like, I don't know if you know who Tyler Perry, but I can introduce you to him. There's a movie you need to see. And that's that movie where Tyler, his wife is on drugs and the daughter wants to sing and he's like, no, you can't go see her. And but then he still let her come and he feeds her in the middle of the night when she, out on the street and stuff. This is the same story this man is telling me that he still look after her, even though she out in the street, he still does this and that. And I'm like, that's really good, because we were created by love. God is love. So we were created by love to love. And I understand that, but I'm looking at this situation saying, bruh, are you, are you healing from something else? Are you holding on to something else and trying to make her be this? So we get further into the conversation and find out that he had been married before at a younger age when he first got in the military. And this woman must, I believe, from the sound of his voice and the way he talked about her, she didn't just leave him, she passed away. And I think, and that really hurt him. And so out of his grief, he's been holding on or, not really fully letting her go. So then he meets this woman. And this woman, either visually, aesthetically, or something about her triggered him to he said he fell madly in love with her from the beginning. And now no matter what she does, cheat on him, leave, stay gone for months at a time, come back, he take her back, he take her shopping because when she comes back, she has nothing. He bought her a new car. She's not even in the state where he lives, but he's still paying insurance on that car that she's driving. And I want to say it was a 2016 Camaro. And so how do I remember that? I'm an insurance lady. But he's just, and I mean, and the more he's telling me, the more I'm drained in spirit because I can't really tell him what I want to tell him. I want to really sit down with this man and pray with you that whatever God's intention in this, whatever he's calling you to do with this, either to hold on or let go or seek his counsel, because this man was hurt in his heart. He was hurt in his heart trying to come up with a payment arrangement to pay his insurance because she's gone somewhere with a car. She don't work. He got hurt. He needed to be off. And now he's going back to work. So now he got to wait on I mean, all of this, but you love her. And in the conversation, this is what made me really want to do this video. He said, I had a friend that told me to leave and said, pray. I told him if he said one more negative thing about her, I would never talk to him again. And all he was doing is trying to open your eyes, but I understand. Then he says, maybe if I love her enough, if I just continue to love her, then she will change. Let me tell you something. I had somebody in my life like that one time, and I loved the ground they walked on, but they had some habits. They had some things that I wasn't really, really settled with. And I thought if I just loved them enough, that they would love me enough to want to change. And then over time they didn't. And I was drained and upset and hurting all the time. And it was just a ball of just emotions. I was on edge because I was wondering where is it gonna do and where is that, and all this until I had to figure out, Kennedy Maisha, you're not God. You are not God and you can't change someone. They have to desire to change. They have to desire to want to be better. They have to want to desire to be with you. They want to have to desire to be good to you. They have to desire to want to be good for you. And that's not what I'm seeing, but he's still holding on. And my thing is, are you holding on to anything that's not allowing you to heal? Are you holding on to a past relationship that was failed and you get into the next relationship and you decide, I'm not going to let this fail. I'm not going to give up. No matter how hard it gets, I'm going to hold on to it. And you try to relive that other relationship in this one. So you don't let go of things. So your past that you didn't let go, you're dragging it into this relationship, trying to hold on to this person, no matter how hard they hurt you, no matter what they put you through, you're holding on because you're not giving yourself a chance to heal. He's not even, when she leaves and goes stay gone for months at a time, I'm like, that's a good time for you to re-examine yourself, re-examine your heart, pray in her absence and ask God what to do. If this is not going to change, I told him you can do a couple of things. I did get the chance to say this. I said either you can love you enough and pray, God, whatever your mission for me in this with this person, please reveal it so that either you can heal and move on, or you can maybe adjust your behavior towards the person so that their change will come with them. But they have to want to change. That really, really hurt me. I said, are we going to heal? Or are we going to hold on? I'm trying to heal. I know you guys are trying to heal too, because that's why you're sticking with me through this journey. So we can, pass this strength back and forth to each other when we need it. But let's heal. Let's heal of some This is why I say we need to heal. We need to be whole. We need to be full of the love of God. We need to be full of joy and all those good things that God gives, because the enemy, he desired to sift us like wheat. And so right now, this person, a good man, a good provider, a person with a good heart, is in bondage to a person that doesn't love themselves enough to get off a try. Now, don't get me wrong. Drugs and everything, misuse, those things can come physical, to that physical need, and they need treatment. But the person has to decide they want treatment. The person has to decide that they want to be better and get better and be better for others. That's one of my biggest things, is I wasn't working into my full potential because I was bonded to grief. I was bonded to the grief of someone, of my child that passed years ago. And it was blocking all of my perceptions of things, and it was blocking my full energy to be used by God. And so this is why I say we have to heal, because we are whole. I'm claiming wholeness. I'm not in it all together when I've just went through the death of my daughter's father, the death of my good best friend. And then now, and a minister from church that I had just said I was going to call her and ask her to teach a class for me for Sunday school. I mean, these things are like boom, 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 back to back to back right now. And I struggle with grief, but not anymore, because I learned through holding on and through my pastor, um, that I can't be fully of use of God in his service if I'm bound down by things, by grief, by worry, by stress. So I had to let that go. I didn't let her go, my child. I just let the grief go, to the point where now her memories are good memories. Her memories don't cause me to cry. They cause me to rejoice and thank God for the time that I had her in my life. And so this is where I'm saying, this gentleman, it really, really, and I hope you watch it, because I mentioned the show several times. I mentioned it, and I really want you to pray over this thing. I pray over your wholeness. Pray over you, letting go of anything, and be prepared. Be prepared. This is why some people don't want to pray that prayer. Lord, take away anything and anyone in my life that causes me to stammer or stumble when it comes to being a servant for you. And be prepared for some people to start falling away out of your life. We read a devotional with our church, decluttering, and it's talking about finances and other things. But sometimes we had, before we got to this one, we were talking about decluttering the people in our lives. And that doesn't mean just cut them off. That means sometimes you had to give people 50 feet so that you can grow and you can mature into what God wants you to be. So look, let's not hold on to unhappiness. Let's heal from grief. Let's heal from strife. Let's heal from those old scars and wounds that other people have placed on us, that so we don't carry them into the next relationship. So now this man wants to be everything to this woman that possibly he wasn't to the last one that passed away or left. So now you're going to hold on to this one that's nothing positive in your life right now, just because. So see, think about that. If you don't heal, you will hold on to things that you'll drag into the next relationship that could cause your demise. That not just your life, physically, meaning you stop breathing, but your demise of peace, joy, love, happiness, those things. And his wealth, because he's spending out money on tickets and accidents and stuff that she's paying, that she's causing, out hanging with other people, other men. I'm going to get off of that, y'all. Anyway, this one went a little longer than I wanted it to go, but I love you guys by the gallons. And remember, we are whole, healed, lacking nothing, because we are the saints of God in our singleness. Hey, this is Kennedy, a whole single, telling you heal and don't hold on. I love you guys by the gallons. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And guess what? I love you, love you, love you. By the gallons, peace, love, and fish grease. Why fish grease? Because it's hot.